From MBS News, this is the Bulletin. Malware has been discovered in several compromised Minecraft mods and plugins on the CurseForge and Bucket platforms. All Minecraft players who use mods should take immediate action to secure their systems. We'll have more in just a few minutes. An administrative staff meeting is scheduled for Saturday, June 10th, which Frumple said will include major announcements on the future direction of the server. Frumple said there will be no involuntary staff or conductor demotions at the ASM, and the server is not shutting down. Changes are coming to A and B roads across the server, as staff plan sweeping road number changes in accordance with new standards adopted at the February and April GSMs. Roads must now receive staff approval to be labeled as a B road, and some B roads are slated to lose their B road designation. Several A and B roads are also set to be renumbered, and staff will decide on the fate of the privately owned ATC 101 highway at the June GSM. Ondist was promoted to conductor at the May GSM. A member since 2016, Ondist previously served as a moderator from August to October 2021. 9 days after Ondist's promotion, Jay Planner resigned from his position as a conductor. He had served as a conductor since August 2022. MRT construction into Zeta continues with the Oasis, Beach, and Rose lines, plus a short extension of the Savannah line under construction. And construction of Simon Scholar's Union line, which will form a beltway around the entire perimeter of the world, continues as well. The Dynmap UI has received a major overhaul, replacing the old UI that had been in place for all of the server's history. The new UI is meant to be more friendly for mobile devices. Minecraft 1.20 was released on Wednesday, June 7th. The Trails and Tales update adds new features such as camels, cherry tree biomes, hanging signs, and a brand new music disc. We do not yet have any indication on when 1.20 will come to the MRT. Major League Spleef is back with its 7th annual season. 12 players are competing for entry into the Shovelers Cup playoffs, and this year's season brings back a set weekly schedule for matches for the first time since the league's first season in 2017. The 25th Taco Burrito-a-thon is being held tomorrow on Saturday, June 10th in Miawan. The 26th Taco Burrito-a-thon is also scheduled for Saturday, July 15th in Ellerton, Fosby. And Lag Tag Season 2 took place on May 20th. High-Tech TR from the MRT Media Studio will join us for more on that. It's Friday, June 9th, 2023, and you're watching The Bulletin on MBS. Good day, I'm Kitty Catwoman231 from MBS News. Several Minecraft Java Edition mods and plugins on the CurseForge and Bucket platforms have been found to be infected by malware, which is capable of compromising your system. The malware, dubbed Fracturizer, is present in the jar files of infected mods and plugins, and attempts to propagate itself to other jar files on an infected system. CurseForge, a major platform for mods for Minecraft and other games, reported that a malicious user created several accounts to upload malicious mods to their platform containing the Fracturizer malware. According to a group investigating Fracturizer, a major mod pack developer downloaded one of these mods, which infected other files on their system, including a file for an otherwise legitimate mod they later released on CurseForge, which further spread the malware. Luna Pixel Studios, a group which develops mods and mod packs for Minecraft, reported that its CurseForge account was compromised after the owner of the studio installed an infected mod named Dungeon X, resulting in infected copies of some of the studio's mods being uploaded to their CurseForge page. CurseForge has a list on their website of mods known to have been compromised, although this is not necessarily an exhaustive list, as some infected mods could have escaped detection. It is believed infected mods may have first appeared on CurseForge as early as mid-April. Bucket's plugin platform, which is part of CurseForge, was also affected. CurseForge claims that while some individual accounts on their platform were compromised, CurseForge itself was never compromised. Fracturizer is believed to operate in 4 stages, with each stage responsible for downloading and running the next stage, according to a group investigating the malware, which published details of their investigation on GitHub. An infection begins with Stage 0, an infected mod file containing the malware. Once the mod is run, it downloads and runs Stage 1, a jar file saved to memory, which in turn downloads Stage 2, a jar file saved to a malicious folder that will run on startup. That file then downloads Stage 3, the final stage of the attack. In Stage 3, the malware attempts to replicate itself to jar files across the entire computer, steal cookies and login information saved in web browsers, steal cryptocurrency wallets, and steal login information for Discord, Minecraft, and Microsoft. Overwolf, the parent company of CurseForge, released tools for users to determine if their system was infected. We've provided a link to CurseForge's page, including download links for these tools, in the description of this video. The first tool scans your computer to determine if an infected jar file has already been run and downloaded Stage 2 malware files. If the tool detects these malware files, you should assume that all Minecraft-related jar files on your system have been infected and your saved passwords have been compromised. Even if the tool doesn't detect any Stage 2 malware files, it is still possible your system may have infected Minecraft mod files which have not yet been run. CurseForge released a second tool, which scans folders and their subfolders for jar files containing the malware, and should be used to scan every folder containing Minecraft mod files. The malware affects both Windows and Linux, and is believed not to affect macOS. According to CurseForge, only mods for Minecraft Java Edition, and not for any other game, are affected. Players who only use vanilla Minecraft using the default launcher and have not used any mods or third-party launchers are also not affected. If you have used any Minecraft mods, take immediate action to secure your system. An administrative staff meeting is scheduled for tomorrow, Saturday, June 10th at 3 p.m. GMT. In an announcement in Discord, Frumple did not provide comprehensive details on what the meeting will entail. However, he said there will be no involuntary staff or conductor demotions and that the server is not shutting down. He said the ASM will discuss the future direction of the server and to expect major announcements. MBS News will bring you a special report after the meeting with more information. Major changes are coming to A and B roads across the server. We'll have more on that after the break, plus OnDisk promotion to conductor, followed by JPlanner's subsequent resignation. But first, we'll take a look at today's international headlines with Matthew Tofu from Newsnet Wolfhaven.
Thanks, Kitty. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Matthew Tofu, and these are the top Wolfhaven stories we've been following this month. Server owner Silverwolf announced the launch of a new mode of public discussion for matters relating to the server and community. Dubbed a town hall, the new structure would differ from the old parliamentary system in that it would be formatted as a, quote, heart-to-heart talk between staff and the community. Community opinions would then be used to guide server leadership in decision-making processes. The town halls are to be held on Discord's new stage function in order to encourage more lively discussions, though players who prefer to use text would always be welcome to do so. Also in the news, helper Gravity Duke was dismissed from his staff position and permanently banned from the Wolfhaven server on the 11th of May. This followed him leaking content of confidential staff channels as part of appendices of his opinion piece titled "Wolfhaven has lost its shine." Gravity firstly decried the feeling that he had of his builds never being, quote, good enough for the server, which led him to spiral into, quote, vicious cycles of perfectionism. He then took aim at the server staff team, in which he condemned their leniency in spite of a, quote, new wave of toxicity, instead alleging that staff members had, quote, other priorities, such as, quote, spying on other smaller servers, referring specifically to a whitelisted server. In a response to Gravity Duke's opinion piece, owner Silverwolf first expressed how staff were disappointed about how Gravity felt about his building standards, though stressed that aside from Wolfhaven's new city world, the server had never enforced any standards on build quality. Silverwolf then went on to defend staff handlings of what Gravity alleged to be a, quote, new wave of toxicity. Finally, he refuted Gravity's claims of, quote, spying, stating that staff were not, quote, actively monitoring player activity on the whitelisted server, but instead any information that was shared was already known to the member of staff who Gravity had targeted in his letter, and shared amongst the staff team. Silverwolf pointed out that given that the server in question had been poaching both former and current members from both the MRT server and Wolfhaven, happenings on the server could have fallen under the staff's radar. Indeed, the response by Wolfhaven staff alleges that personally identifiable information was shared on the whitelisted server's Discord server and used to target players from the MRT server, which gave Wolfhaven staff further reason to be concerned. Newsnet reached out to Frumple, who declined to comment on these allegations. Also in the news, the Wolfhaven Broadcasting Corporation, Wolfhaven's public broadcaster, ceased operations on May 6th. In a staff notice, President Silverwolf justified the move, citing that the, quote, organization had often tried and did not manage to produce a finished product at all. In its place, WBC will become a department of its own under the Ministry for Culture and Foreign Affairs, and will be renamed to the Communications and Information Department, which will assist in the, quote, production and creation of content for the official Wolfhaven YouTube channel, mainly, quote, focusing on short videos rather than overly ambitious projects that will never see the day of completion. In a series of tweets, outgoing WBC CEO Laikana Atimochi thanked viewers and employees for their support and expressed their excitement in contributing to the newly formed CID. And finally, work on the server's new spawn in the upcoming new Wolfminster City World, more commonly known as Wolfhaven, continued throughout the months of April and May. When asked about the design philosophy of the spawn area, owner Silverwolf stated that the, quote, main goal of the new spawn would be to, quote, invite people to explore and experience Wolfhaven before applying for residency, and that design faults of previous spawn iterations, such as the, quote, confusing airport spawn and current, quote, claustrophobic spawn, had been taken into account. The new spawn island should be completed ahead of the official launch of the new city world, tentatively scheduled for June 23rd. More on this and other stories in the upcoming premiere of our brand new show, Wolfhaven Until Midnight. But until then, that's it for me and the Newsnet Wolfhaven team. But don't go anywhere, the Bulletin continues with Kitty right after this.
Welcome back. For the past few months, staff have been evaluating A and B roads on the server, with a slew of changes to existing roads proposed to take effect this month, in accordance with new road standards staff decided on earlier this year. At the general staff meeting in February, staff decided to change B road construction rules. Previously, B roads only required staff approval to be built if they extended more than 500 blocks from a town without connecting to another town or an A road. B roads which connected two towns within 500 blocks, connected a town to an A road within 500 blocks, or were entirely within a single town, did not need staff approval. At the February GSM, however, staff decided they would only approve B roads which connected more than one town. Roads located entirely within a single town would no longer be eligible for a B road designation. At the April GSM, staff expanded upon the changes to the road construction rules made in February. Intercity roads can still be built without staff approval under certain conditions. If a road is shorter than 500 blocks and connects a town to either another town or an existing A or B road, it does not need staff approval, but it cannot be labeled as an A or B road without staff approval. Vicky Torrey and AP Red were tasked by the staff in February to review existing roads and propose changes to not only bring existing roads in compliance with the new standards, but also to better standardize the road network as a whole. They finished their review and presented their list of proposed changes to the staff at the April GSM. Under the plan, B roads located entirely within one town will have their numbers removed. The roads themselves will remain, but they will no longer be designated as B roads. For example, Vicky and AP's proposal suggests decommissioning the B263. The B263 is a short local ring road located entirely on the northern island of Secunda. If the plan is adopted, the road will remain as an unnumbered local road and will no longer carry the B263 designation. Some incomplete A and B roads will also have their numbers removed, including roads which were planned and have wiki pages but for which construction never substantially started. The plan also seeks to renumber some roads to better standardize road numbering, prioritizing single-digit numbers such as A1, A2, or A3 for major trunk routes within their respective wards, two-digit numbers for shorter regional routes, and three-digit numbers for short local connectors. The B40, for example, is set to be renumbered as the B440, as it is a short-length connection road between the two nearby towns of Silent Plains and Tranquil Forest. Some roads will also be merged with other roads they connect to. The plan also recommends nationalizing the privately owned ATC 101 highway. The highway, built by Castle in 2016, runs from ATC International Airport through Covina and Aquilhagen-Takahasin, ending in Los Angeles. At the time it was built, Aquilhagen-Takahasin, Covina, and Los Angeles were part of a shared municipality, which under the rules at the time allowed for any roads to be built within the shared municipality with no restrictions. The ATC 101 was therefore a local road that did not need staff permission, despite being built to A road standards and its unusually long length for a local road. Whereas all A roads on the server were fully nationalized under staff ownership in May 2020, the ATC 101 remains privately owned by MC Yoshi 26, having inherited it from Castle. Vicky and AP's plan proposed relabeling the ATC 101 as an extension of the A3, which runs from Central City to ATC International Airport, and formally nationalizing it as a staff-owned A road. For road builders who opposed suggested changes to their roads, the staff set up a new forum channel in Discord called Road Updates to appeal proposed changes, which the staff would reconsider at the May GSM. ATC 101 owner MC Yoshi 26 appealed the proposed nationalization of his highway. He argued against setting a precedent that the staff could eminent domain private roads, and mentioned that the ATC 101 does not directly connect to the A3. Instead, the A3 merges into the ATC 1, which runs as a local road from ATC International Airport into Covina and connects to the ATC 101 in eastern Covina. AP Red argued that the road's exceptional circumstances warranted redesignation as an A road and nationalization of its ownership, including its more than 6,000 block length, its function as a major road corridor into the eastern New World, and the fact it was built almost entirely to A road standards. Vicky and AP's plan was set to be adopted at the May GSM, and staff debated some of the appealed changes, but ultimately decided to defer discussion to the GSM on June 11th, since AP Red was absent from the May GSM. Ondist was promoted to conductor at the May GSM. Ondist originally became a member in July 2016, and previously held the senator rank for his towns Palestropol and Villanueva. Ondist previously served as a moderator from August to October 2020, resigning after only 2 months due to what he described as the MRT's effect on his personal life. In his conductor application last month, Ondist cited his projects and good relations to the community, as well as his previous term as a moderator, as reasons he should be promoted, saying he had more time to spend on the server than when he resigned from mod 3 years ago. Ondist was promoted to conductor with 4 votes in favor from staff, 3 neutral votes, and 0 votes against. 6 staff members did not vote at the GSM. There were no other conductor or moderator nominees at the May GSM. 9 days after Ondist's promotion, on May 22nd, Jay Planner stepped down from his position as a conductor. Formerly known as Yellow Itcher, Jay Planner became a member in April 2015 during the first year of the New World and holds the rank of governor for his city, Zilia. He became a conductor at the August 2022 GSM, 1 month after the rank was first introduced, with a near-unanimous vote of 9 staff in favor, 1 neutral, and 0 against. Jay Planner did not publicly discuss his reasons for resigning and did not respond to a request for comment from MBS News. MRT construction continues into Zeta. More on the new lines being built when we get back after the break, plus an update to the Dynmap UI and the new features added in Minecraft 1.20. That's ahead on the Bulletin.
Short 925. Welcome to the debut of MBS. This is MBS News. Welcome to the first GSM on MBS. Over half of the server's moderators have either been demoted or voluntarily resigned for different reasons. At the beginning at 5:50 p.m. Eastern Time or 10:50 p.m. UTC, Sunday, October 4th. Breaking news. Will the server be shut down? Mega Scatterbomb has resigned from admin. Minecraft Yoshi 26 steps out.
I see it! I see the finish line! We're coming! We're coming! We're coming! We're coming! We're coming!
It's for him to get in, and he falls! Game tied! 2-2!
I'll be the stranger and the taxi driver, the flashing lights, the nighttime fire, the siren call, the last real rider. So feel me as a shiver.
Welcome back. Several new MRT lines are under construction in the Zeta region as the network continues to expand out into the previously unconnected region. The MRT Oasis line is being built by Mrs. Solemnis and Alpha DS as the third part of Project Midway, which previously rerouted and extended the Mesa and Western lines in southwestern Zeta. The Oasis Line, located in southern Epsilon and Zeta, was originally proposed as the Night Line in January, and was reproposed in February as the Kelp Line before its final name, the Oasis Line, was decided on. The line roughly follows the path of what was Line 5 in Frumpel's proposal of MRT Zeta expansions. The first phase of the line was approved in February, starting at an intersection with the Desert Line at D44 in Totem Beach, continuing southeast to an interchange with the Southern Line at SW14 in Newborn, and ending at the intersection of the Zephyr and Island Lines at ZS55 and I-55 in Toronto. As Phase 1 was nearly complete, MISA and Alpha proposed Phase 2 to convert a large section of the Desert Line into part of the Oasis Line. The Desert Line used to go all the way to the far southwestern edge of Zeta at D90 station. However, the line was cut in half and now ends at D44 in Totem Beach. The section from D44 in Totem Beach to D69 in Wenyanga, via cities including Grey Cloud, Hazen, and New Singapore, is now part of the Oasis Line, while the section from D69 in Wenyanga to D90 via cities including Porton and Yucatan Beach is now part of the Mesa Line. The Oasis Line formally opened between Wenyanga and the Island Line and Zephyr Line interchange in Toronto on May 5th. MISA and Alpha proposed Phase 3 of the line on May 11th, which will extend the line from Toronto, paralleling the Mesa Line north until M63 before continuing northwest, terminating at an interchange with the Union Line at U158 in Pilaria. Phase 3 was approved and remains under construction. It will be the final phase of the Oasis Line's current plans. The MRT Beach Line is being built by Athena 33 and Zouauge, taking the route of Line 7 in Frumpel's proposed plans. In its final form, it's set to run along a north-south corridor in eastern Zeta, between the Jungle and Union Lines, from the southeast corner of the world to the northern world border in the northeast. Athena and Zouauge formally proposed and received approval for Phase 1 of the line in March, which will run south from an interchange with the Expo Line at XE49 in Plague Rouge and Seki City, connect with the Forest Line at F45, and end at an interchange with the Plains Line at P61 west of Prismarine. Phase 1 of the Beach Line remains under construction, and the remaining phases have not yet been formally proposed. The MRT Rose Line is also under construction, taking the route of Line 1 in Frumpel's proposed plans. In its final form, it will run east-west through northern Zeta, mostly paralleling the Union Line to its south, running from the Western Line at WN60 in San Francisco to the northeast corner of the world. Phase 1 of the line was proposed by J-Planner in late March, which was approved by staff, with Skelly Zumperman as its staff sponsor. It will run east from an interchange with the Zephyr Line at ZN50 in Inverkelpie, connect with the Lakeshore Line at LE11 and LE10 in Halifax and New Maiden City, pass through Riverend, and connect with the Eastern Line at EN46 and EN47 in Salina and Halloumi. Then, after joining the Union Line at U30, it will end at an interchange with the Union Line at U29 in Mountbatten. The line's construction hit a roadblock, however, shortly after the line's primary builder, J-Planner, announced his resignation from conductor on May 22nd. Skelly Zumperman announced that J-Planner no longer wished to continue construction on the line, and Skelly announced that he would step in as the primary builder for the remainder of Phase 1. Phase 1 remains under construction, and no further phases have yet been proposed. And construction of Simon Scholar's MRT Union Line continues. The line was conceived by Simon Scholar, who has served as its sole primary builder since it began construction in October 2022. The Union Line acts as a second circle line and, once fully built, will run a full perimeter around Zeta near the world border. With its first 6 phases of construction finished, it is already the longest MRT line to ever exist, with 169 stations so far. Phase 7, which Simon Scholar proposed and received approval for in early April, will bring the Union Line to 198 stations, and will complete the segment of the line along the western edge of the world. The new phase will extend the line from its current terminus at U169 north parallel to the western world border, connecting to the Arctic Line at A68. After continuing further north, it will then turn northeast, connecting with the Lakeshore Line at LW42 and joining the Western Line at WN54, ending at WN57 in Nova Roma. Phase 7 of the Union Line remains under construction by Simon Scholar. A short extension of the MRT Savannah line is also still under construction. Started by Athena 33 in January 2023, with Foot Chicken as its staff sponsor, the extension extends the Savannah line 4 stops south, connecting with the Union Line at U-127 before terminating south of the Union Line in the town of Two Lakes. The extension currently remains under construction. A major UI overhaul recently came to the MRT Dynmap. Live Atlas is an alternate front-end for Minecraft server Dynmaps meant to be more friendly on mobile devices, which was rolled out to the MRT Dynmap on April 29th. Slide-out menus for changing worlds and finding online players are replaced by menus toggled by clickable buttons. Dynmap markers also have more functionality, with drop-down lists allowing users to quickly find the location of any MRT station, premier city, air facility, or numbered highway. This is the first update to the Dynmap UI in the MRT's history. Minecraft Java Edition 1.20 released on Wednesday, June 7th. Originally announced in October, the update, called Trails and Tales, introduces new blocks, mobs, items, and other features. Armor trims add new customizability to all armor types, allowing players to add new colored patterns to their armor. Hanging signs have been added, which can be hung from either the bottom or side of a block. Both normal and hanging signs can also now have text on their back side in addition to their front side. Chiseled bookshelves are a new form of bookshelves that actually store books. You can right-click a chiseled bookshelf with a book in hand to store it, and even use it to power a redstone comparator, emitting a different signal strength depending on how many books are stored. There's a new cherry tree biome with cherry trees, as well as cherry wood and its variants. Bamboo can also be crafted into its own wood variant. Pitcher plants and torch flowers add new opportunities for adding flora and fauna to your builds. Camels and Sniffers are the 2 new mobs in 1.20, both of which are peaceful. Camels can be ridden by up to 2 players and can step up 1.5 blocks, whereas horses can only step up 1 block without jumping. And 1.20 adds a new music disc, Relic by Aaron Cheroff. The MRT does not currently have a time frame for when it will update to 1.20, Frumple confirmed to MBS News. Once Paper and the server's other plugins are updated to 1.20 at an indeterminate point in the future, the MRT will test the new version on the beta server before the main server updates. Minecraft's last major update, 1.19, was released on June 7, 2022, and the MRT updated to 1.19 4 months later on October 12. The MRT is currently running Minecraft 1.19.4. Major League Spleef is back with its 7th season. We'll have more on that and other server events after the break. You're watching The Bulletin on MBS.
only start.
Welcome back. Major League Spleef has returned for its 7th annual season, organized by Commissioner Skelly Zomperman, who is leading the league on his own after his former co-commissioner and MLS founder Valkorian314 stepped down this year. This year's season started on May 22nd, and the regular season will run until July 9th, with 12 players competing under the flags of their cities for entry into the Shovelers Cup playoffs. MLS has changed up its format this season and has established a weekly schedule. The season is divided into 7 weeks, and each player plays a series against 2 other players selected by the league each week, with some exceptions. In most past seasons, teams were given the freedom to play their matches against any teams at any time before the end of the regular season, and MLS hasn't used a set weekly schedule since Season 1 in 2017. The top 4 teams at the end of the regular season will advance to this year's Shovelers Cup playoffs, with 2 quarterfinal games determining which 2 teams advance to the final for a chance to win MLS Season 7. As of the taping of this broadcast, MLS Season 4 champion Frog, representing his city Titsansaki, is leading the standings. Alpha DS, who won both Seasons 5 and 6 under his city Lapis Bay, is not participating this season, citing real-life obligations and a waning interest in MLS. This leaves Titsansaki and the city-state of Catania as favorites for entry into the playoffs, which were the first and second place teams, respectively, of MLS Season 4 in 2020. Titsansaki was also second place in Seasons 5 and 6. MBS and MBN are both broadcasting select MLS games this season. The Taco Burrito-a-thon has returned, with 2 editions coming soon in Miawan and Ellerton Fosby. The Taco Burrito-a-thon, organized by Skelly Zomperman, is one of the MRT's oldest sporting competitions, and is an Olympic-style event in which 2 teams, Taco and Bacon, compete in an array of sports such as spleef, swimming, and sumotori. Whichever team wins the most events wins the Taco Burrito-a-thon. The most recent editions of the event took place last summer, with the 23rd and 24th Taco Burrito-a-thons taking place in Porton and Rattlerville, respectively, last July. The 25th Taco Burrito-a-thon is tomorrow, Saturday, June 10th, starting at 2 p.m. GMT. And the 26th Taco Burrito-a-thon is tentatively scheduled for Saturday, July 15th in Ellerton Fosby. Season 2 of Lag Tag, a racing game by Harbor Random 852, took place on May 20th. With more on that, High-Tech TR from our partner broadcaster, the MRT Media Studio, joins us from New Barktown. Hello, High-Tech.
Thanks, Kitty. I'm High-Tech TR from the MRT Media Studio. I'll be talking about Lag Tag, the MRT's newest game event hosted by Harbor Random 852, the mastermind behind the successful Formula MRT series, which had seen 5 seasons. Lag Tag is an amazing race-style game where the contestants in teams of 2 are to travel to different towns and complete tasks in each stop. However, there are quite a few things unique to Lag Tag that sets it apart from Yoshi's original MRT Amazing Race, as well as other amazing race-style games that had run test sessions, such as the Hunt for Bloodbath Treasure. Most notably, there would be 1 or more hunters in Lag Tag who constantly chase down and attempt to kill the other contestant, hence the name Lag Tag. If successful, that contestant will be eliminated. This adds an element of surprise and urgency, on top of having to complete the various tasks and get to the finish line first. Secondly, the winner of the game is not determined by who finishes first. Each leg of the race, with the exception of the final leg, provides the teams with a choice of one of a few towns to travel to, each with different tasks and different points awarded for task completion. The teams may choose the town that is the easiest to get to, or the easiest task to complete, or the one that awards the most points. With this, each team's route during the race may differ quite a bit from other teams. For example, the first leg of Lag Tag's second season gave a choice between New Singapore, Kazeshima, or Wonyanga. At the end of the race, the finishing position will also grant different points, with the first finisher awarded 20 points and the rest getting 10. The winner of the race will be the team that finishes with the most points. As Lag Tag is still in its early stages, there may be quite a few changes to how the game works. The first season actually enforced the method of transportation to be taken to each town, but this was removed in the second season. Speaking of that, the second season, which was held on the 20th of May this year, saw 3 teams of 2 complete 7 different challenges, starting out at St. Helena and ending at Starbase 1 in the space world. It's thought Jasper was the sole hunter of the season, and he proved to be very skillful. Despite the running teams getting a head start, Jasper eliminated Minecraft 252 within minutes, leaving his teammate, Formula MRT reigning champion Micah Boss, behind. Harbour had set a 10-minute cooldown between kills, but Jasper quickly eliminated the all-rounder MC, followed by Really Tuck after the next cooldown. They left behind their teammates Awesome Marbles and Miyako Marine respectively. However, eliminated teammates can still help out via voice chat. After the 4th challenge, which by then all 3 teams were reduced to just a single member, they were given a choice to revive their teammate. Only Awesome Marbles chose to do this with the all-rounder MC. While Jasper managed to eliminate the all-rounder again, this took a significantly longer time, as Jasper was preoccupied with chasing Miyako Marine near the finish line. Unfortunately, the World Guard region in Starbase 1 prevented Jasper from doing any damage to Aqua, allowing Aqua to come across the finish line first. This was followed by Micah Boss, and then eventually Awesome Marbles, after an intense race by Jasper to intercept him at Central City. The point system also ended with all 3 teams in their finishing order, meaning Aqua won the race. This season of Lag Tag, as well as the first, were broadcasted live by the MMS, where you can watch replays of both broadcasts on that channel. And that is Lag Tag. Back to you, Kitty.
Thanks, Hightech. That concludes this edition of The Bulletin. Special thanks to Newsnet Wolfhaven and the MRT Media Studio for producing portions of this broadcast. From MBS News in Central City, I'm Kitty Cat 1231, and have a great day.